Hey guys, Big Geordie Geek here, and I'm glad to be bringing you another battle report. It's again a day late. Yesterday I went to a friend's and helped him build a computer, which was fantastic. Really nice computer as well. AMD Radeon 6700 XT. Beautiful card. Really nice machine with a Lian case. Anyway, we'll talk about war games here. So I'm playing the issue 13 battle report, and we see some Skorpekh Destroyers take on some Assault Intercessors and a Primaris Captain. There is also some Scarabs, but you know they're not doing much in this game, to be fair. And yeah, we'll see what happens. So what we're going to do is go into the battle report and we'll see what happens. The mission is the Necrons are to obtain an objective on the other side of the board, but you know, a resurrection orb, as it were, but we'll see how they do, and then we'll come back and sort of round it up. Now, before we get into the battle report, I'd just like to say a quick word from our wonderful sponsor, the Daylight Company. I love their products. I actually own a Lumi task lamp myself, which is an absolutely phenomenal piece of kit. It really does make a huge difference in your painting area. I'm not going to keep you up with a sponsored message, but I will say that if you love your painting, this will really make a world of difference. The only problem is you'll see a lot more faults with your painting work than you would before, but that's a good thing because it helps you improve. Anyway, let's get on with the battle report. So, starting out, you can see here we've got the two HQ. Well, I'm using this HQ. The Necrons don't really have one. I'm using this image as the cover. And we'll start off with looking at the Space Marines for this mission, which are a full squad of Assault Intercessors. The Sergeant has a plasma pistol in place of a heavy bolt pistol. And the Captain that we all know and love from issue 5 with his mastercrafted power sword and his plasma pistol. Still not a legal load in normal 40k, I might add. And on the Necron side, we have 3 Scarab swarms and 3 Skorpekh Destroyers. So let's see how they get on. Now, the setup here is the Assault Intercessors at the bottom in the middle, the Captain at the top, the Scarabs at the top left, and the Skorpekh Destroyers in the bottom left there. So move 1, the Captain moves towards the Scarabs. He's going to sort them out, and the Assault Intercessors move towards the Destroyers. The Captain fired his plasma pistol at the Scarabs, and he supercharges it, and he manages to hit the Scarabs, which is fantastic. This causes a wound on the Scarabs, and they can't save it at all because they've got no armor save. Their own armor save is 6+, but it's a -3 AP on the pistol, so 2 wounds are automatically taken by the Scarabs. The Intercessor Sergeant also fires his plasma pistol, also supercharging it, and he hits the Destroyers. This causes a wound. The Destroyer needs to roll a 6+ to save the wound, but he fails and takes 2 wounds, leaving him with 1 left. The remaining Assault Intercessors fire their heavy bolt pistols at the Destroyers, and they manage to hit them only twice, which is not great. Neither of those actually causes a wound at all. Now the Captain then chooses to charge into the Scarabs, managing to make a roll of 7 there to get into them. He strikes the Scarabs 5 times, only hitting them 3. Only 1 actually causes a wound on the Scarabs, which destroys the swarm immediately because it's a -3 AP again, and there's no ability for them to save, causing enough wounds to wipe out that swarm. The Assault Intercessors successfully charge into the Skorpekh Destroyers. They're on a charge of 10. They make a total of 15 attacks. That's 10 base, 2 attacks each, plus an extra attack for having an Astartes chainsword. And yeah, they managed to hit the Destroyers a total of 9 times. 5 of those cause wounds, needing 5 pluses to actually do anything to the Skorpekh Destroyers, as their their toughness is 1 higher than the strength of the chainsword, so that makes them slightly harder to wound. But we do manage a respectable 5 wounds. The Necron's Necrodermis fails to stop 2 wounds, killing 1 destroyer and wounding another with just 1 wound. The remaining destroyers hit back, first with a Hyperface Threshers, making 8 attacks in total, of which causes 5 hits, 3 of them are missing. These then cause a total of 3 wounds, none of which the Space Marines are actually able to save, which kills 3 of them, leaving 2 standing. Then the Necrons use the Hyperphase Reap Blade, making 3 attacks, hitting with all of them. All 3 of them cause wounds, and the Space Marines can't save any of the wounds due to the Reap Blade being a -4 AP, and thus the rest of the squad is completely wiped out. The Scarab Swarm then moves out of combat with the captain and flies towards the objective, 10 inches. The destroyers then clamber up towards the captain and finally charge in, and they then smash into the captain, first with a Hyperphase Threshers, hitting 4 times from 8 attacks. 3 of those cause wounds, but the captain's Iron Halo is good enough to avoid all of those wounds, so he's fine. The Hyperphase Reap Blade is then struck next, hitting all 3 times. 2 of those cause wounds, which is great for the Necrons. The Iron Halo protects the captain from 1 wound, but the other goes through and takes 3 wounds off him, leaving him with only 2 wounds left. The captain then gets to attack back. I forgot the living metal rules, so the wounded Necron destroyer actually gets healed now, and the captain 5 attacks, only 1 actually misses. Now, of those 4 hits that managed to go on the destroyers, 2 cause wounds, 2 do not, both of which the Necron could not resist, and it manages to go through the Necrodermis of 1 Necron, taking all 3 wounds off him. So, yay, the Necron is not happy there as he falls to the ground. In the next turn, the captain is able to fire his plasma pistol in combat, supercharging it again. He hits, but this doesn't do a single wound, so the destroyer is fine. The captain then uses his power sword, striking 5 times and hitting a total of 4, causing 2 wounds, one of which the destroyer resists, but the other goes through. The destroyer having a free up save, but the power sword being -3, and his 6 was good enough to save 1. The 5 was just not good enough. So he takes 2 wounds, leaving him with 1 left. The destroyer then hits back with his Reap Blade, hitting a total of 2 blows on the captain, both of which cause wounds, which is brilliant for the Necrons. The Iron Halo on the captain resists the first, but the second manages to slip through and cuts the captain down where he stands. And that meant that the Scarab Swarm was able to get to the objective and win the game. Okay, well, I mean, that was a really good game. For me, anyway. I was the only one playing it this time. And to be honest, it could have gone either way at the end there. The Destroyer, probably slightly weaker than the Captain, I think, in terms of combat. But I think the Captain sort of was just a little bit better in combat. Well, I think it came down to luck, to be perfectly honest. Just luck of the draw with the dice. And had that Captain saved that thing, I think he would have taken care of the well, actually no, the Necron would have got attacked next, so it came down to dice rolls in the end, which is what you want, really. I mean, it was a very, very close game. So my plan is to be back on Wednesday with another battle report. I plan to record that tomorrow, being Sunday, and come back with that later on, and maybe even do Fridays as well. because this is a day later than I planned. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. As usual, if you like what I do, leave a comment, which is great. Leave a dislike if you didn't like it, a like, it's great. Any, you know, the usual YouTuber calls to action. Subscribe if you like it. And I will see you in a few days with another report. And hopefully tomorrow with Wargamer news. Last week's was... basically the recording didn't work, and every time I tried to export it, it just went wrong. So, typical. I'll try and get as much from the week before into this one. Anyway, thanks very much for tuning in, and I will catch you later.